What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, and I'm back at y'all with another one. So, world champion, WBA, junior welterweight, world champion, star boxer, Gary Antunne Russell, who is 18 wins, 1 loss, no draws, 17 wins by way of knockout. Gary Russell wants a unification bout. You have 4 champions right now at 140. You have Gary Antunne Russell. You have the IBF champion, Richardson Hitchens. You have the WBO champion in Teofimo Lopez, and then the WBC champion, Alberto Puello, who beat Gary Antunne Russell, right? So, Gary Antunne Russell is trying to unify these belts, and he's not happy, and he called out Richardson Hitchens, who just defended the titles against former unified lightweight world champion, star boxer, Australian superstar, but star in the States, George Kambosos Jr. He stopped George Kambosos Jr., knocked him out in the 8th round. With that said, Richardson Hitchens is calling out everybody, but Gary Antunne Russell. He's simply acting like Gary Antunne Russell doesn't even exist. He called out Devin Haney, calling out Teofimo Lopez, and I get it, they're bigger marquee names than Gary Antunne Russell. But then he made mention of a unification bout against Alberto Puello, who's going to defend his titles against Subriel Matias. But once again, he did not mention Gary Antunne Russell at all, because Gary Antunne Russell is a southpaw. He's explosive. He's awkward to deal with. He has a high ring IQ. He has great conditioning. And he's a pressure fighter, but he can box and be a counterpuncher, right? He lost a very close fight to Puello, and I think he will win the rematch. But Gary Antunne Russell had this to say: how can a guy lose to me 4 times in the amateurs? We both have belts in the same division, and yet you don't even want to fight me. Boxing is getting soft for real. I'll fight anyone as long as it makes sense, money or legacy wise. End quote. So he's saying, I beat this dude, Richardson Hitchens, 4 times in the amateurs, and now he's ducking me. He's not even mentioning my name. And he's not. And it's like Gary Antunne Russell doesn't even exist. It's bizarre. It is truly, truly bizarre how people just go about in the sport of boxing as if Gary Antunne Russell don't even exist. He's a world champion. Richardson Hitchens is 20 wins, no loss, no draw, 8 wins by way of knockout, right? This is the perfect opportunity. Unify the belts. He stated that he don't want to face any other opponents at 140 unless it's a world championship fight, because he don't want to deal with the International Boxing Federation, better known as the IBF, 10-pound next day rehydration rule with President Darryl Peoples, okay? So he only wants unifications. So he mentions Teofimo Lopez, which I get that, right? Teofimo Lopez is a marquee name. He's a world champion. He's highly decorated. He's a 2-division champion, and they're both from Brooklyn. That makes sense. Understandable. Right there at the top of the list. But then he's mentioning Devin Haney. Devin Haney is very accomplished. High-profile fighter. Superstar. And the thing is, he fights at 147. And then he says, well, I want to unify the belts against one of the champions, so I don't got to worry about this rehydration clause. But Gary Antunne Russell is not being mentioned. As a matter of fact, Nobody's mentioning Gary Antunne Russell. This is not a Richardson Hitchens thing. This is a boxing thing, right? Nobody's mentioning Gary Antunne Russell, which is absolutely bizarre, to say the least. It's absolutely bizarre. So this needs to be discussed, because Gary Antunne Russell deserves a unification bout. Why not? Now, he's supposed to have a fight coming up in Japan. As a matter of fact, he's supposed to fight June 19th, this upcoming week, Thursday, in Japan. I don't know what happened with that. He's no longer fighting, right? I guess. But, I mean, this is bizarre. Style-wise, he's a nightmare. I didn't even understand how the PBC had Gary Antunne Russell fighting against Jose El Rayo Venezuela for the WBA title, and Puello on the same card against Sandor Martin. And I thought Puello lost to Sandor Martin, but he got the hometown cooking, being with the PBC, and he beat him in the last fight. And that should be the rematch. They should be rematching for a unification bout ASAP. But Puello's going to fight Sabril Matias. I mean, let's see how this unfolds and plays out, man. I think it's a problem for Richardson Hitchens. He understands that, because you don't have the power to keep Gary Antunne Russell off him. Gary Antunne Russell beat him 4 times in the amateurs, and he's just flat out being ducked, man. This hurts the sport of boxing, period. So let's see how this unfolds, man. If Richardson Hitchens don't get, and I said this before, if you don't get Teofimo Lopez, who's 22 wins, 1 loss, no draw, 13 wins by way of knockout. He's highly decorated. He got in the ring. They're both from New York. That makes sense. If that don't come to fruition, the next logical situation should be him and Gary Antunne Russell. That makes the most sense. Not Devin Haney at 147. But let's see how it unfolds and plays out. And that's all I got for y'all. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, or one word, it's your boy Blue signing off. I'm gone. Peace.